And we are live. Welcome to NasCanucks. I'm Ben. This is my cousin Doug. And this week we are talking the race to the chase in the Cup Series, as well as action from,
Not the chase. It's now just the playoffs.
Oh, they're going full on now, the playoffs?
It's the playoffs.
Full assimilation. All right. As well as Xfinity action. And then we head on over to Gateway because four-wide technology or whatever the hell it is.
Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Worldwide technology. Okay, because I was watching the race and I swear everybody was saying four wide. I'm like, four wide technology, sure, whatever. I don't know what that is. Hey, there's Tom.
I don't know what the race was called. It was 18 names.
Hey, Amy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's 18 names. It was Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway, presented by.
Yeah, so I just put in the video description, I said from Gateway because they gave it a bad name or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I go the junior route on that. If you don't give it a good name, I'm just going to call it by an older name.
Yeah. And apparently, according to Michael Waltrip, elevators do go sideways in the arch.
Right.
But that's him, and we won't talk about him no more.
Well, his elevator doesn't quite go to the top floor anyway, so.
Because the elevator doesn't go to the basement.
Very true, very true. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions for either one of us, ask away. In the meantime, let's see.
Tough ones.
What was the first race of the weekend? Was it the Xfinity race? No. Yeah, Xfinity Friday night.
Feels like 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Yeah, so it was that. When was the ARCA race?
I don't know. If they showed it on TV, I'd know.
ARCA race was at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway
in St.
some
Louis.
other time. And like usual, one person in the chat will be happy. It was won by the Joe Gibbs 18 car in the ARCA series. This week, ran by Ty Gibbs.
Hey, there we are. Nice. Okay. So that brings us into what, Xfinity?
Sure, yeah. It's like a week ago. I don't even remember.
I know, eh? I remember there was a big one at one point. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a lot of similar to the Cup race where it was a lot of very pensive driving. Nobody was really taking a ton of chances. Tim Cindric managed to drive like an asshole at one point regardless, but...
No, he didn't. His son Austin did.
Well, same thing. Chip, block.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever seen Tim drive, but I'm just going to assume, someone taught the kid.
We've seen one of their drivers drive and almost kill us, but yeah.
Yeah. A pure Penske driver, folks.
Yeah.
So, other than that.
Texting while driving.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Collins Racing. They put on a clinic there until...
Colleague.
You're
just on fire with names tonight.
I am. Doing well.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, this show is presented by Viberprint. So there we are. We put that up in the banner. Collins Racing putting on a clinic up until the last lap, basically, where they decided to have their cars running 1-2. Dinger up front, Chastain in behind him. It was Chastain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because Haley won.
Yeah.
Because fortunately they fielded 3 cars because that's what it takes to win at Daytona. Chastain saw an opportunity. He went for it. Ends up taking out Dinger. They go and interview Dinger. He's like, dirty billiards. Blah, blah. And then I was just like, really, dude? Like, you've never done that? And then that reporter, he did the perfect follow-up. He goes, so what you're saying is you wouldn't have done the same thing to your teammate? Well, yeah. But, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would have. So,
yeah. I did hear an interview with Chastain, and he said he did the same move that he did as a dumb 24-year-old in a late model. So even he said that he didn't do the right thing.
Yeah, he wasn't a team player.
Yeah,
for whatever that means. I don't mind. Welcome our third anonymous viewer. You know who that is, Doug.
Yeah, we do. But that is for another time. Yeah. So, yeah, all in all, so they don't start their playoffs now, do they? No.
No, next week.
Yes.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, they start next week. Trucks, then they have their final cutoff race next week.
Yeah. Well, I thought that's Xfinity has their final cutoff race next week too.
Amy knows.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the Xfinity. Then
yeah. Other than that, hey, empty head.
Yep. So do we go on to the next race?
Yeah. So we get into Saturday, so we get to the first IndyCar race.
Okay, you can talk the IndyCar race. I have another thing I just popped into my head.
Well, there was another race on Friday involving a Canadian. Stuart Friesen won a dirt modified race on Friday.
I heard that he won that, but you just totally messed me right up there. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I didn't get a chance. I seen the end. I didn't see the start.
Right. I saw mostly highlights, caught the last bit of it. Big wreck at the start. I get now watching how quickly those things launch. You don't notice it when they, all launch together. Oh, wow, this is really like infield talk. Me, beer burping mid-sentence. And, there was one guy checked up and it's just, took out a bunch of cars. And on that one, I do believe Takuma Sato won. No,
he didn't.
No, he didn't. Scott Dixon won.
Dixon won.
His 50th career win. That's right. Which is a pretty big deal. 50th win for Scott Dixon.
Yep.
And then, other than that, that track, it's a great NASCAR track, but I don't know. It's a kind of a crappy, reminded me a lot of Iowa or Milwaukee. Just becomes single lane awfully quick. And even if you run too wide, the way the air works there, it's a lane and a half at best. So you get the old arrow push. You get up 4/10 behind somebody and you're stuck there. So, yeah, too bad about that. But I'm glad they're back at that venue. I've always liked that track. So,
yeah. So another thing which we kind of talked about just messaging, and I've now just seen that we are way behind in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've just been thought they've been showing older races, not anything kind of half-assed new.
Okay.
Is that back August the 15th, they had race 1 of the Pinty series. So they were going.
Right.
So winner of that first race, and in classic Pinty's fashion, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 cars.
Okay. And 11 of which were probably Dodges.
Oh, probably, yeah. The first race here won by J.P. Dumoulin.
All right.
With Trayton Lapcevich in second, Brett Taylor in third, DJ Kennington finishing fourth in that one.
Okay. And that's the young Lapcevich, the latest third gen now at this point?
Yeah, I'm not sure if Caden or Trayton is the youngest.
Are they brothers or are they cousins?
I don't know. There's the fathers racing too, so it's a family affair.
Right, but from the previous generation, there was two Lapcevich brothers.
Yeah,
and I believe their father even ran.
Yeah,
but that was more locally, I think.
Yeah, so that was up at Sunset Speedway.
Okay.
Looking at the next race, also at Sunset Speedway, which they did doubleheader. They did a doubleheader in one day.
Sure.
So in second race, looks like they really need to get the printing higher. Jason Hathaway won the second one.
Okay.
Connor James in third. Kevin Lacroix out of Quebec third. Trayton Lapcevich fourth in that race. And catching up, because that's what I like to do.
Yep.
Went to August 29th at Flamborough.
Right.
I love going to. I need to get there again.
I've never been there.
You're missing out.
I know.
Jason Hathaway won that one.
Okay.
Kevin Lacroix finished third. Kevin Lacroix was second. Brett Taylor third. Tagliani finished fourth.
Oh, he must have been out of quarantine.
Yep. Kennington finished fifth, and seeing him on Facebook, because I'm friends with him on Facebook. Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Jared Fitzpatrick, after many years away from the series, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, he got taken out late and finished second. Sorry, finished sixth, and then again they did 2 in one day there.
I don't know that young Taylor kid.
No. So Lacroix finished first in the second. They're in the fourth race, I guess. Hathaway second, Jared Fitzpatrick third, and Kennington finished fourth. So yeah,
nice. Nice to see DJ's running up front. That's good.
Yep.
Not bad for a snowplow driver.
Not at all. Not at all. So I'm not sure just what their schedule is to see when they're running next. But
I'm already thinking that. Because if they get to the point where they're allowing any fans into races, we might have to do a road trip.
Oh, yeah. Finally get to something.
Yeah. Because I'm jonesing for some live racing. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I can't see their schedule offhand. But yeah. And you said there was a hauler went by your house.
Yeah, which was funny. You know that car hauler, I didn't get to take a photo. It's you see them up and down the highway all the time. It's like Thoman, Motorworks, Carriage. So it was one of those haulers, and all they did was throw a side view decal of the race car on the side as well. So it's like, obviously they donated a trailer for use to the race team for sponsorship, and they didn't even reskin it. I'm like, that's the Canadian way on the cheap. Boom, just the decal that they probably would have put on a regular enclosed triaxle trailer otherwise. Yeah.
Well, and we've talked before. You in your area used to see them all the time.
Oh, all the time. Well, especially because I was commuting 40 miles each way down the highway every day.
We talked about the Cup guys used to come up by your place.
A lot. I'd see a Roush trailer almost every week, probably like 3 times a month. And that's just me on the highway. I'd pass on their way up to the wind tunnel in Ottawa, heading from Batavia, Michigan, I think is where Roush Industries is.
Something like that. Maybe the person from Michigan may say it in the chat. But yeah, rumor has it. Yes, they will have fans, but the border, I'm guessing, will probably still not be open.
Well,
unless someone knows somebody who can get us a plane.
Well, does that mean we have to quarantine for 2 weeks upon entering at the man cave?
Yeah, I'm already quarantined for 2 weeks. That sucks.
Yeah, do you want to quarantine for 2 weeks in the man cave?
Well, yeah, that's that, but
we wouldn't survive.
No. I wouldn't survive the person on the next level up from me either. Right? But yeah. So after that interruption, we got the Cup race Saturday night.
Yeah. So basically the story of that was
first off, there was breaking news that the mainstream race media did not want you to know about.
No, they didn't.
No one said a thing. Chad Knaus found his laptop.
There we are.
That is it. Chad Knaus found his laptop. No, it was all kept quiet, and nobody wanted you to know. He found his laptop after 3 years.
It was very shadow banned across the internet.
Yep.
But yes, Chad apparently found his laptop because the story going into the race was we have 3 drivers headed for 2 spots. And after we realized it's involving a Penske car, basically, and 2 Hendrick cars, I said, fuck it. I don't care. But I want to see DiBenedetto get in out of the 3 of them, definitely. And once again, no top Jimmy. Although,
almost scared the crap out of me.
God, that was the Jimmy of old in that race. Like, I don't know what got in under his skin, but he turned it up a notch. That's for sure. He was in the mix, and especially that run near the end of the race when they were charging that pack down at a second faster a lap, and he's just starts going, and there was a what? And Junior's just like, well, let's see how far he can get up through the field here.
He just wrecked late instead of early like usual.
Right. Yeah, more of a 2017 as opposed to a 2020, 2019 thing.
Yeah. But
because Jimmy didn't find the laptop.
Sorry?
Because Jimmy didn't find the laptop.
No, he didn't. No, but the other things come out of there was that Truex stayed clean, did not get in a wreck.
Yep.
Like he usually does.
Yep.
Keselowski did not cause one.
I almost texted you because during the race when they were like, I think it was Steve Letarte, it's like, would you believe that I've been looking at the numbers and Truex has never won a restrictor plate race? And I went, I know. Doug knows.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's yeah. Well, he's almost like he come close to Denny twice. I guess. No.
Empty says he caught our episode when we were talking about his computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stenhouse wrecked, shocker. Or that's the funny part is like it was almost like rolling the and we want to thank as well credits at the end of the movie because it's like the usual suspects that didn't wreck out. All of a sudden, they're waving the checkered flag, and then you see like Ty Dillon going across in a wreck. I'm like, well, there we are, perfect. They had to get it in at the end. They didn't wreck earlier in the race.
Yep.
They'll be damned if they were going to actually.
And of course, like a restrictor plate race, Clint did not go straight across the finish line.
Nope.
He
got taken out hard on the last lap.
Threw it in reverse.
Yep. Yeah, me too, Amy.
Yep.
Because Clint was up there, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't like this."
In my pool, I had Denny winning, Martin finishing second, and I thought that was going to happen. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was interesting, but and then the 24 with some bold moves. Some people would say, other people say reckless, whatever. He got the win. They're all. So when we got the 11 and the 22 running up front in a restrictor plate race at the end, there's going to be a wreck between the two of them for sure.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad for Bubba Wallace.
Well, yeah. Well, when the 22 door slams him, like as soon as you seen Bubba come on the outside, it's like, okay, Joey's going to go right.
Yeah. Oh, did I miss him? Did I hit him? Oh.
I still haven't caught door bumper clear because I want to hear TJ Major's explanation for this one.
Yeah.
Because I forget Bubba's spotter who's there. Right? Because they always go at it, and I love Brett Griffin, who's there, who's Clint's spotter, who acts like Clint, egging both guys on.
Sure.
Right? I think and we've talked about Clint on the radio before. I think I like Clayton Hughes and Martin on the radio, the way they interact, but no one can come close to Brett and Clint on the radio.
Yeah. Or Clint with any of his crew chiefs over the years.
Pardon?
Other than when they weren't on speaking terms. Because I remember a couple times you're like, what's up with your boy? And it was one of those off years. And I'm like, they've said 3 words in the last half hour.
Yeah.
He's like, basically, how's it handling now? It's still fucked. Well,
they are the best during a red flag.
The red flag, that was the epicness.
Especially during Charlotte when it's late at night and they get a red flag and they're trying to contemplate if they will get to the bar before last call.
Yep.
Because what else are you going to talk about?
And Clint was single at the time. It wasn't even the bar; it was the strippers.
Yeah. No.
Which I thought was funny.
Well, I think he may have been together with his wife.
Ah.
Because remember, he also said that he wanted that he thought NASCAR should, for a 600-mile race, at least put someone in the car next to them so they can talk, but not his wife, just somebody else that he could talk to.
Right. Yeah, and I just don't remember like, how's the car handling? Did you buy these tires at a yard sale?
Yeah, and then we still use the term today when we're together at a race. BFW in turn 2.
Yep.
It's a big fucking wreck.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Heard that a few times.
Yep. So Byron wins.
Byron wins. First career win. Shocker. Someone gets their first win at a restrictor plate race.
First time not in a video game.
First time not in a video game. Yeah, well, he's young. He's young.
Yep.
So that moves us into Sunday, which broadcast-wise, the truck race was after the Indy race, but I think they might have ran it beforehand.
It ran at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
That's what I thought.
Live on TV in the States because they made the reference to Saratoga live after they were done. So that one's at like 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So we were tape delayed
again.
Which I was then afraid of them saying the winner when you were watching the second Indy race because Indy ran after the trucks.
Well, and I was suspecting it, right? I just had a feeling because I was looking at the track. I was like, wow, that's a lot of rubber laid down. Like, and I went, uh-oh. And I was just waiting. And I had my finger like on the skip button and as soon as I'd be like, bing, I would just skip ahead if I needed to. But fortunately, they kept their mouths shut.
Yep.
Yeah, so Lee Deppy doesn't give a flying fidoo about the truck series, but
yeah. I thought it was less wrecks than usual.
Yeah.
But I know you liked it.
Yeah.
For me, it was just not that I want wrecks, but it was just kind of like a race.
Well, it was kind of it was a little bit of Martinsville, a little bit of Pocono somehow in one race, and I loved it. Like I said, like the one time I agreed with Michael Waltrip in the last I don't know how many years, he's like, we got shifting, we got short track racing, we got pack racing all at once. I was like, yep, we do, and I can't wait for the trucks to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see the Cup guys run there.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, one thing on the Cup race, holy ride heights, Batman. When you're 10 laps into a run and you're still dragging?
Maybe they thought they were still 4th of July race and they were just having sparklers under the cars.
At times it was crazy because it was sheets of sparks coming out of cars. That's just insane. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about ride heights, truck race, Gillen, like his left side, the front there was like, it was just dragging.
Yep.
But so it was at Sheldon Creed. Listen to him on the way home here tonight with Moody, and he's
running a throwback scheme.
He's still waiting. He's still giving it time, let's say, to talk with Todd Gilliland.
Yeah,
because Todd said his crew's worked hard all year and they're good. But you know what? All I got to say to Todd would be that if you didn't have a hot mic last year, you may still be in the top ride in the trucks.
Yeah.
Right. But whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuart Friesen, Canadian, had another great run. I believe it's his 3rd top 10 in a row, which is amazing. The new team this year.
But Lassard finished 5th.
Lassard finished 5th.
So you had 2 Canadians in the top 6.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was great to see. And I'll say I enjoyed the action for the most part. Which then I was like, it was great because the order that I watched after watching a boring ass IndyCar race prior to it. Which who the hell even won that race?
I don't know. I know Lewis Hamilton won the F1 race.
Lewis Hamilton won the F1 race.
Tell me something new. He only won by 11 seconds this week.
I don't remember. See, it was that memorable. But apparently, they're looking to finish out the next 2 weekends with double headers. Possibly. They're still waiting on conference. Their next race is Mid-Ohio next weekend, I believe, which may or may not be a double header, depending on when Penske got the Speedway, did he get the series too? Who's running that series?
I think Penske got the series.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because I thought the Speedway owned the series, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's why he wanted to do more double headers with NASCAR and why it'd be easier to do double headers with NASCAR.
Otherwise, he'd never be at a NASCAR race.
Yeah, I think your probably highlight of the weekend you said happened after the truck race. And when the winner stepped out of the truck, took his helmet off.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I say. Sheldon Creed rocking the throwback scheme.
Yeah,
with a very, very healthy mullet going on.
Yeah,
it was like at first I was like, wait a minute, no, he's just letting it grow out, and I'm like, no, that's way longer in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was that was something.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So looking ahead here, so where are we off to in the Cup Series?
We got throwback weekend. Speaking of throwbacks, we got throwback weekend at Darlington.
Speaking of which, they're throwing it back so far. They're bringing back the Truck Series to Darlington, are they not?
Yeah, with drivers.
Yeah, including throwback drivers as well as paint schemes. That's right. Yeah. You can see Greg Biffle, Trevor Bain. Oh, who was the other guy?
Who's the other guy?
Oh, I had it earlier. Biffle, Bain. Johnny Sauter's just been there the whole time. Crafton's been there the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, good gravy. Come on.
Yeah.
It'll come to me.
Maybe Amy knows. Who's the other geriatric driver? Biffle, I was shocked at that because
Biffle, because Biffle's running one other race too.
Yeah, but I was shocked anyways because he was old when he retired.
Oh, yeah. He got one win last year in his one race. He raced for KBM.
Yeah, but remember, I hadn't followed the Truck Series in a few years.
So. Yeah. So we're got the Xfinity Friday night. Cup
Saturday, the truck race, Amy.
And truck race is Sunday.
So the trucks. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, you had a trivia on that, right?
Yes. So trucks last run at Darlington, 2011.
Right.
Who won that race?
Now originally when I messaged you, my first guess was Mark Martin.
Guesses, yeah.
And then I said Denny Hamlin.
No.
But I'm thinking Greg Biffle.
No.
Really?
No. Well, yes, really. No, you're wrong.
All right, so 2011.
Yeah.
Was Harvick still running trucks?
Probably yes, but it wasn't him.
All right. Is this driver still active in any series?
Active in a series, just not NASCAR.
Schrader?
No.
All right. Just Kyle Larson.
No.
Damn. No, he's too young for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait. Oh.
Yeah, it was in March. It was March 12th. And in that race, I'm pulling it up now. In that race, Ron Hornaday finished second, Todd Bodine third, Matt Crafton fourth, James Busher finished fifth. I will give you a hint. He was driving a KBM truck. Not Larson.
KBM truck.
Driving a KBM truck.
But no longer races in NASCAR.
No.
But races elsewhere.
Yes. And you have been to his race shop.
Fuck. All right. Casey Kane.
Yes, it was Casey Kane. KBM truck.
It was the visit the race shop. I'm like, who the hell? Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Casey
Well,
Kane.
clearly, it wouldn't have been a Penske driver of any kind because we've never found that shop.
Never.
I think everything's in the cloud with them.
Oh, it is, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Casey Kane won the last truck race at Darlington in 2011.
Nice.
I was going to tell you, it was a combination you really wouldn't think of with Casey Kane driving for KBM because he was he Hendrick back then?
I think 2011.
Yes, he was. He was sort of Hendrick racing for Red Bull.
Casey Kane was.
Yes.
Yes.
He was in the Red Bull number 4.
Right. Right. But was Kyle still with Hendrick at the time? I didn't think he was.
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah. The NOS Energy number 5.
No, it was a Kellogg's 5.
It was always Kellogg's.
Yeah.
And CarQuest or something.
Yeah, CarQuest, yeah.
Right.
Or maybe Kyle was with.
Well, you know who would know when Kyle showed up at Gibbs?
She wasn't there.
She might know.
Yeah.
Might be
Anyway,
written.
so, yeah. So, ton of other throwbacks for the weekend.
Yes.
In the Cup Series for Cups and Cup and Xfinity.
Yep.
So I think Truex is running a Bass Pro Shop scheme from the 90s, I believe.
Isn't Joey Logano running a Brad Keselowski throwback?
Something like that.
Because it's a discount tire car.
Yeah, it's a throwback to discount tire from last week, is what it actually is.
Yeah, because I don't think they've ever changed it other than adding the 3 scallops that are on every Penske car now, regardless of sponsor.
Yeah, it's the same everything. It's just One thing is that it doesn't have a Dodge now; it's got the Ford.
Yeah.
Which people were thinking. People were saying, "Oh, they're going to bring back the Dodge too." I was like, "Well, probably not."
No, I don't think the Ford people would be too happy with a Dodge logo on there.
No. Trying to the other, I'm not sure.
Harrison Burton is running his dad's paint scheme from early Busch series. Dex was the Busch car, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd still love to see that lightning scheme of the Exide car behind me.
Yeah. Allgaier is running the race previous to Junior Motorsport to JRM before Chance 2 started. Okay. He's running that with the big flames on the side.
Right.
With the orange, black, and white car.
Okay.
Complete with DMP on the back A-frame.
And isn't one of the Hendrick cars doing a throwback to Jimmy Johnson?
All 3 Hendrick cars are.
And well, you know what? I allow it. You know, the guy's a 7 times champ. He's their teammate.
Sure. I'm not looking forward to actually trying to look at the Jimmy's car in motion, because I think that could be a little eye straining. Right, with the lower half being black and silver.
Now, are the trucks doing throwbacks? Because if they are, they should only be doing throwback truck schemes. And there's been some cool ones.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just doing drivers.
It was cheaper. What's cheaper? Hire an old driver or reskin a truck? Those wraps aren't cheap.
Well, considering most of those trucks are still throwbacks, because the other week didn't they win for like a truck from like the 90s?
2011.
Yeah.
I think I think that it was a 2008 chassis that was last run in 2011. Yeah. So guys are running throwback chassis as is. Well, hell, remember Schrader did that for years. Running
Schrader, David Reagan is the other driver.
Right.
Because it was reminded because it was the Dart Without Feathers comment was at Darlington.
Yep. Yeah, Schrader used to run ARCA races with Hendrick chassis number 4, well into the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because Schrader, which then gets the comment.
Which means then Stuart Friesen should run either the Federated Auto Parts paint scheme or AC Delco.
Yeah.
Since he still keeps the number, it's the same font, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
or Budweiser for that.
This is Schrader's car. Once Reagan got done with him.
Hang on.
Without feathers.
Yep.
There you go. Which was my time at Darlington, which was the second COT race.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Yep. So
wow, we kind of blew through that coverage.
Yeah. Other news, Germain Racing
Yes.
Up in the air what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, so sponsor is leaving. We know that for sure. Geico is gone.
Yeah. Which Geico is a real big question because they are a title sponsor for the series. I forget how, but they are now one of the title sponsors as well. Are they staying as the title sponsor, or are they totally?
Right. Well, I would think the title sponsor, being one of those title sponsors, has got to be a hell of a lot less money than basically an entire season on a car, because Geico's on that on pretty much all the weeks.
Yeah.
So
So then, does that could that mean that RCR is going back to a third car, bringing Ty back? Because we've talked about that before. Does Ty want to be that? Oh, you're only driving because your grandfather's the owner, or
yeah,
still want to be?
He sees Austin hears that all the time.
I'm my own guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, considering I don't know. I don't think Ty's going to do any better or worse if he's running for RCR than he is with Geico. That 13, because pretty much Jermaine's running RCR motors and getting their chassis from them anyways, I think.
Well, ECR.
I think they got rid of the E in the motor department.
Did they?
Yeah, it's just children back to RCR.
Okay. No. I thought it was still ECR.
Nope. Finally let that contract run out.
But yeah.
Or
I don't know.
I thought it was a different name for a second, but I'm like, no, that was an old name for another team. Nope, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, so then that's another charter that's up for grabs.
Yep. And we know Fast Track or
Trackhouse.
What are they called?
Trackhouse.
Trackhouse. Yeah, whatever. Fast Track Racing.
You got to give up on those names.
You can't even name it after yourself because I'll get that wrong too. Just ask Collings.
Yeah. Especially because there's no S on colleague.
That's what I'm saying. He's doing that right. He's like, I'll never do their show. I'm never coming on.
No.
You're lost.
No leaf filters for you.
Oh, speaking of which, speaking of Leafs, we have a list of things that are bad luck at racetracks. Peanuts, bad luck. Used to be women in the pits, bad luck. Sorry, Amy. But I think that was more for the boys to be able to drink and cuss in the pits as well. But, green cars, bad luck. And I swear every time I see a Canadian driver with a damn maple leaf as part of the paint scheme, those cars never finish the race. And Alex LeBay proved that. So, I understand they had a Canadian sponsor. The Canadian sponsor wants, hey, we're Canadian, Just don't use a leaf. Put the word Canada or something. Just no maple leafs. Every time you do that, cars wreck.
Yeah. And speaking of sponsors, and we've always said, your sponsors usually, or what you put on the car really comes up, right? Like we've always had the FDNY car wreck right in front of us. There was a time, the race last year, where there was a car on fire in the Xfinity series.
Right.
In the trucks. And it was the FDNY truck, again, plowed right into the truck that was on fire. It's like, hey, you know what?
It was just trying to stamp it out.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to that thing. If you remember back to the Xfinity race this weekend, was it lap 3? Was it?
Yeah.
While trying to go to the back of the field.
Yep.
Apparently, you're not what your hood says, right? Because there, yes, that says woke AF. Yes, you probably were once you wrecked the car, because you weren't woke when you actually destroyed your car.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
Right.
Very true. Yeah, other than that, I can't really think of any other news or rumblings that we've heard.
Byron signed the contract extension.
Right.
Heard today that DiBenedetto is trying to work out a contract extension at Penske because even though he drives for Wood Brothers,
he's a Penske driver.
He's a Penske driver.
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of the Penske leasing program.
Yes. So then that leads me into another thing that we talked about.
Sure.
Was a question I kind of posed to you as well. Hearing, as I say, I get all my stuff from Sirius XM. So the topic today that came up was, who will go farther in the playoffs? Bowman, Byron, Custer, DiBenedetto.
Ooh.
And that is for anyone watching as well, too. Now,
you know what? I'm not giving the 24 any momentum because it's restrictor plate racing. Although
there was an overwhelming favorite from the callers calling in, but I think half of them were.
I'm going with Custer.
Sorry,
Custer. He'll go the furthest.
Okay. A lot of the fans calling in, and I kind of agreed with them a bit. Was DiBenedetto, right? Because
it was one of the other
racer. We're gonna talk about this. Here's a racer that he didn't do things the easy way.
True.
Right? He never stepped into that top stuff, right? Because you got Bowman, who I forget the name of the team now because Ryan Truex drove with them that 1 year where they had the two rookie drivers.
Yep.
And then they just went all stupid.
Right.
And then he went right with Hendrick, right, when he was really young. So, he was handed top equipment right young.
Yeah. Same as Byron.
Byron, Kyle did what Kyle does. He picked him up out of the Snowball Derby because he finished ahead of him in the Snowball Derby.
Yeah.
Kyle brought him along, and then in the trucks, then he went to JRM for Xfinity, and you know what happens there. Custer, he's still the young guy. Daddy's one of the top men at that race team.
Yep.
Right? So DiBenedetto didn't have the money behind him. Didn't have that top equipment all the time. He worked his ass off to get where he's at.
Yeah. I'm only giving, and that's the thing, I'm only giving Custer the slight nod because I think Clint's going to be out after the first round, and whatever valuable assets that Clint has is going to be given to the other cars. And DiBenedetto, I agree. Better probably racer because he's had to drive harder to get where he is. But I think the Stewart-Haas equipment's better than what Penske's putting out on the track.
I don't know. DiBenedetto, like Amy said, he wants it the most. He's got that determination, and he's been putting some good finishes together.
He has.
Right? So I think, I think that because the other guys have had the wins, except for Byron, right? The other guys have had those wins to fall back on. So I think they kind of went back. DiBenedetto's been in the playoffs last 10 races.
Yeah.
Or even say all season, right? So he doesn't have to change that mental thing to go, okay, now I've really got to run for it. He's just got to do what he's been doing.
I'm still thinking Custer. I agree with everything you're saying, but I think it's going to be Custer.
No, I don't think. I think it's going to be DiBenedetto. And it's just going farthest, right? It's who's going to go farthest out of them.
All right. So where are they wrapping up the season this year? Phoenix?
Phoenix.
All right. So who are the final four at Phoenix?
I'm going Harvick, Hamlin. Just are they not already qualified for Phoenix because of their point?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's kind of like Truex was a year or two ago.
Yeah, and I'm saying Truex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always going to say him, but I think...
No, I'm with you. I'm 3 for 3. Yeah.
With his finishes...
Yep. Who's the fourth? That's the question. Who's the fourth? Is it dipshit in the 22?
I was just thinking that, but I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Keselowski either.
I don't think no. See, he's not having a year.
No.
He's doing better than Kyle Busch is, but they're both having off years.
Yeah. And I think she's just saying that because Keselowski's from Michigan. That's what I'm going to say now in the chat.
Right.
Right.
A little bit of bias.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be dipshit.
But I don't know. I just think it might just be somebody else.
I really hope. I hope we're wrong. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just gonna be some other dark horse come in. I just can't think of it right now.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm thinking there's gonna be a while, like there's just gonna be someone who's just gonna
pick up momentum, say mid-October.
It's not gonna be that other. It's not gonna be a Hendrick guy.
I'd like to see Boyer too, but it ain't happening. Unfortunately.
Yeah. You never
too many weeks running 23rd.
No, you're saying that. You're saying that, but Boyer's had like top sixes 2 of the last 4 races.
I know.
You know what? That could be the wild card.
I'd love for it to happen, especially if he replaces Dipshit.
I think, you know what? It's that. As long as he can
well, and let's be honest, if you're going to pick a wild card, Clint is a wild card.
Yeah. As he announced today, as long as he can stay off of Zoom meetings,
yep,
he'll be fine. He's done with Zoom. I think he said he did 3.5 hours today,
and he's done with it.
Of Zoom. He's done. Yeah, he thinks everyone deserves a pass from Zoom because, you know, he's got to remember his password, what thing to click on, when to unmute, when to mute.
Yeah, which sounds like he keeps unmuting himself or he forgets to unmute himself when he's talking. But the rest of the time he's cursing and swearing and disrupting whatever meeting's going on that they have to mute him to shut him the hell up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just Clint being Clint.
Well, yeah.
And speaking of that, there's been all those stuff. I'm going to go back, like his empty head said, we went back to other shows. I'm going to flash back to another show just a couple weeks ago that Zipadelli is kind of putting what I said in motion, that he thinks the Stewart-Haas lineup will be the same next year.
Right.
So.
Well, and like we talked off air, I said, nobody's really having a bad year.
No. So.
Like, did all 4 cars make the chase?
Yes. Yeah.
I just assumed they did because Clint's usually the worst running of the bunch, and he hasn't been having a terrible season. You know, by any means, he made the chase.
No, they got all 4 cars in.
Yeah. Team.
So yeah, so that puts that other driver who was linked to Stewart-Haas, which I thought at first because there was just that fit.
Right.
Maybe Trackhouse is a Ford satellite team then maybe to put a driver in there that.
Speaking of, can I petition Ford to start a second engine program in Cup?
You don't want Roush engines?
Nope. They appear to be okay on power. Appear to be.
Harvick's cars.
Their chassis suck the pouch, so I figure, they're probably doing half-assed in the engine shop too. There is a team there that also has a Formula One team that might be able to do up an engine program. Just saying, Stewart-Haas.
Yeah, what do they drive? Well, it's not Stewart-Haas. It's just Haas.
Yeah, I know, but Stewart-Haas could start an engine program because Haas F1, I believe, uses Ferrari engines.
I was going to say, I was thinking.
Maybe. Well, at least they did the last time I paid attention.
Their fence was too high for us to look over.
I tried.
They got to shorten that fence.
Well, and they got the security cameras before the fence and the grassy knoll. I had to get up on a grassy knoll just to, and then I got dirty looks.
Let us look.
Yeah. And I got yelled at by someone in your family. Your wife didn't seem overly impressed because I told you, get in the truck, get it running because I'm going to come running.
Yeah.
Because I knew security was out there.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? I'm like, because I wanted to see.
It was like dogs coming after you, and
the things we do.
Yeah.
You know, we go that extra mile to find the inside scoop, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Well, do we have anything else, or should we probably wrap it up? Not that I've been smelling pizza for the last 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. No. I'm probably thinking something afterwards, like, oh, yeah, I should have said that.
Yeah, which is usually the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so petition, I think for healthy competition, we should have a second Ford manufacturer out there for motors.
Oh, and so thankful that Wednesday is now, we still have like 4.5 hours left in it. Wednesday's come and gone, and NASCAR has not announced that they are putting a 17th car in the playoffs because
Chad found his laptop.
Yeah. Because there was those people were calling in to starting like Saturday night.
Well, there's no reason. There wasn't even any controversy. It'd be different if, we found a loose lug nut on the 24th.
Well, but there was, because, he missed a race because of COVID and he got disqualified at Charlotte. Well, Charlotte's your own fault.
Yeah. And guess what? Old KB broke a couple legs. He still had to race his way back in, and he missed more than a couple races.
And people said, oh, well, they should have just let him start the Indy race and then let Allgaier jump in like they do with other guys, and then he could just get the points. Well, guess what? Allgaier wrecked really early, and even with those points, you weren't going to make the chase. So we'll still give you those points. Sure. There you go. Take those 7 points you got, and you're still not making the chase.
No. Exactly. Because Matty D ran the race he needed to run.
Exactly.
Well, there we are.
Yeah. So,
any prediction for the truck race this weekend going into Darlington?
Biffle.
Nice. I was thinking Johnny Sauter because he's been having some bad luck lately, but he's he's a veteran.
He did, well, I guess we didn't say that. He did wreck, or he didn't finish. He had a DNF, and it wasn't anyone else's fault.
Yeah, but he was still in a bad mood.
Yeah, it was a transmission, I guess. But
well, there we are.
That Cup race. I'm
picking your boy, Truex.
I was going to do that too.
Okay. But
Hamlin,
1A is going to be Hamlin. You can never count out a Hamlin at Darlington.
Byron will be on. It should be Byron on the pole, shouldn't it?
I guess, since he won. I don't know how it works. I don't pay attention. I think it's all a joke.
Yeah. And then Xfinity, because they need to, they're finishing. No, they don't have their playoff set.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't.
Go there with Amy too. Hoping Kyle will get the one. Xfinity, I don't know. Anyone but Cindric.
Yeah, no shit. I was thinking that too, because he is the Joey Logano of that series. And more than just car number.
Yeah.
I
think if you're going to look up to someone at that team, please look up to Blaney.
Exactly. You know what?
Look up at
who we got to keep an eye on in the Xfinity series is that 68 car. I bet he's going to be loose as hell again this weekend. Brown. His last name's Brown.
Yeah. I've heard talk of him before.
Yeah. But other than that, you know what? someone like Justin Allgaier. I think it's going to be a series veteran that wins an Xfinity race.
Well, you know what? And if he wins in that paint scheme, I don't know if they have fans in Darlington. I'm not sure if there's fans going to be there, but it'll be freaking pandemonium there.
Yeah.
If he wins in that paint scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you've seen, because Junior Motorsports does all those videos. And obviously, the video of him picking the car, they're like walking through Junior's graveyard.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right? And he's like, and Junior's like, what about that car? No. What about that car? No. And then they're like, Junior's like, the acting is just Oscar material.
Yeah.
And
almost as good as porn.
And then finally, Allgaier's like, that. I think that. And I think it was like a glowing, they show the cars like glowing. It's in like a bunch of bushes. And then, it's got like the DMP, Dirty Mo Posse on the back. And that was like Junior's like first car. Like somebody else, I forget who the car owner was, but let him put all of his stuff on it.
Right.
And then,
Brandon Jones is a good choice too. But
there's a lot of guys in the Xfinity that can win.
Oh yeah.
So it's just Briscoe. It's just anyone but Cindric.
Well, and the fact that it's not the ARCA series where it's only one team, two teams, or the truck series where it's half a dozen trucks. The Xfinity's like the Xfinity regular teams, if you want to call them that, the true teams that have really, I don't know what it is. If it's they're able to redirect resources because of the composite bodies, I don't know what the deal is, but keep doing what you're doing, guys, because it's great racing. So there we are.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sir. Any parting words? Parting shots?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we got all out of the way. We went a little easy on Logano this week.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
I did. I'll never go easy on that Yahoo.
Yeah.
Until I see him pop his visor up from the seat of the race car and he's wearing his damn glasses, he'll have zero respect from me. If he has the glasses, he gets 1% respect. So until next time, I'm Ben. He's Doug. Thanks for watching NasCanucks. Cheers and happy racing.